Hi, everybody. I'll tell you, Gary Melton, he just is a glutton for punishment. He just comes coming back for more and coming back for more. uh, okay, here we go again. Podcasters beware. Legal liabilities in propagating the accusation that Mitch Snow is an evil woman beating piece of shit, to quote Ian Carroll. Again, this is not directed at Ian Carroll. He just, that's to quote him, but everybody's saying, or most people. And to complicate matters worse, uh, Mitch Snow just announced that his father was the Zodiac Killer. This is an unsolved serial killer in, I guess, the San Francisco Bay Area 70s or 80s, I believe. Um, so yeah, everybody is in an uproar of why would he possibly, I mean, real quick, everybody's reading this. I guess I'll read it too. Where are we going? Here. So, have I done my, yep. Okay. So at the end, because this is in response to somebody who did a podcast on deciphering the Zodiac Killer, exploring the Zodiac Killer spree in San Francisco. The video delves into unsolved murders, cryptic letters to media, and the widespread panic and intrigue that followed, leaving a lasting impact on criminal investigations. I've got a lot to go through, so I'm not going to reread through all of this, but definitely it'll be in the slides. You can click on it. Basically, you know, he said his father, he was a radio and radar operator on the USS Enterprise during Vietnam, thus how he knew about ciphers. So yeah, his father, his mother got pregnant, so they got married. The typical story, you know, strict Catholic family. Yeah, these Catholics, pesky Catholics. Uh, he despised women, yet praised, even nearly worshipped his mother. All the kids did, even though she was very far from she was very far from what should be being a saint. Yeah, this is a typical, I mean, this is Stockholm syndrome. And I mean, maybe he's getting into it. I mean, I haven't spoken to him yet. I do want to. Um, because he even said, you know, his focus is getting his son back and helping everybody else to get their children back. I mean, that's been my focus for 20 years. So I'm hoping he'll contact me. So, you know, maybe I don't, you know, I don't know what research he's done, of course. Um, but see, this is, I mean, women in this arena, see, this is where we see it in the Charlie Kirk assassination, but also with the research into the problems in family courts, the nitty gritty, the fact finding, the going look for this, look for that, has mainly been done by the women. And basically, I keep on telling the women, guys, by not working together, all that you're approving is that you need men to organize you, and that you're the ones who control, you know, make the patriarchal society, porque la situation s'oblige. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You're the ones who create the situation. So anyway, yeah, this definitely, and you know, Stockholm syndrome, how it goes from generation to generation. I mean, this is what we see, and this is, you know, with the robber baron families, it's the same thing. More and more people are waking up to the problems in the banking system, how that's being used to, um, you know, take concentrate wealth in wealth and power, and at the same time, rights are being eroded in the courts either by action or omission of action. It's going both ways. I've been trying to get them to act on all sorts of stuff that would combat what's going on, but nobody will help me. So that I say omission of action because and that's why everybody's going wild. They're doing whatever they want. Okay. Yeah, he had a controlling girlfriend from a rich family who he married. She taunted him to become rich with his supposed quick wit. So yeah, apparently he was charismatic and you know a con artist probably. We all know the type. And taunted him to be rich. She, you know, this is the typical thing that you see, and we'll see it a lot with serial killer. I mean, maybe this is the point that he's making, because this man is the typical profile of a serial killer, and how he hates his mother, um, or he despises women, yet he praises and worships his mother. But in fact, you know, the mother, it's he can't come to terms with his hatred for this evil woman. So, you know, he loves his mother, but then he takes out that hate on other women. So this is the, you know, typical serial killer profile. And you know, this is everybody's like Mitch changing his name. You know, Mitch wanted obviously to wash his hands of his past, and I could understand that. And not even one. I mean, I'm standing up for the family name, going back all the way to the 1500s. My father always said, our family has been fighting these, you know, the Philistines and all of these problems going back to Elizabeth the First, and effectively so. And oh Lord, did I take on a baton when he died? I was like, yeah, Dad, I'll pick up the flag and keep flying it high. Um, so he was such a wonderful person. But so I yeah, they were divorced. They got a divorce in 75. So I guess he got custody. Um and I'm not sure what this, he loved picking up, single dad raising two boys. He loved picking up potential proteges and would trade them to commit. So I don't know. I mean, it's very likely that he was, you know, sexually molesting his sons. Um, so I'm not sure what that is exactly all about. That is kind of has me perplexed. Okay, then he goes on to, you know, say, oh, I love this one. Okay, he let's see. Known for heavy drinking, frequenting cop bars, challenging cops in pool, gaining their rapport, then doing favors the ones he considered to be like his father, disgruntled and unappreciated officers holding responsible positions but getting passed over and getting credit. Okay, well, that yes, what he wants to talk about is, you know, these generational issues. He shared a resentment towards those who gained their promotions through college degrees, often calling them college educated idiots who deserve holes in their heads. Dumb as doorknobs. Well, see, this is where I was like, well, I have to agree. And we have a whole bunch of Washington who is filled with them. And now they all have PhDs. So they really have overinflated egos. I mean, the think tanks and all of the nonprofits need to be drained. My goodness, he committed more murders than was claimed. See, he became friends with the cops and called in favors or kind of was able to keep ahead of him. God. He crashed head on with another vehicle, killing the two in that car. To cover, he pulled his passed out buddy into the driver's seat and fled the scene. Fearing being caught or investigated and fingerprinted, he quit job. He took kids and moved to Sandwich Island, Washington, where he lived with kids hiding in his parents' vacant cabin. He remarried and moved to Long Island, New York. So, yeah. So I guess, let's see, I'm trying to remember Mitch. They did say when he was born. I forget. He's a bit younger than I am. Where would I have that? Oh, born 1969. Yes, so 79, Mitch would have been 10 years old by then. So, wow, yeah. So when they got a divorce, let's see. Oh. Okay, 75. Yeah, so Mitch. Maybe he got it. Maybe the thing ended divorce because there was sexual abuse of the kids. And as usual, the abuser gets the kids. Let's see. Um, yeah, so I assume Mitch, yeah, Mitch got away from his family as far as early. Okay, he remarried. So I'm not sure who this woman is, but anyway, yeah. So I don't know if you can join the military before 18. I think you can. So I'm not sure. But then I think Mitch, he served in the 90s. Was it the 90s? Sorry, I should have looked at this before. I'm just thinking of this now. But anyway, okay, let's go. Yeah, so that's kind of a has everybody's eyebrows raised. What's going on there? So what I wanted to get into was, so last night I'm waiting for the podcasters to come online, and I mean, Gary Melton, I don't know, like, he needs a good PR person and tell him, look, buddy, just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah, hi, is this Mitch?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Gary Melton. How are you?
Gary who?
My name is Gary Melton.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Yeah, so I'm a former first group guy. I saw your interview with Candace. And I just had a few questions for you.
You do? Okay, are we being recorded or anything? Are we being...
Oh, this is going to become a real theme of contention.
Yeah, let me jump in my car here. Yeah, you know, talk to Mr. Valhalla. He had some ideas. Well, and who are you again? You're Nate. Gary. Sorry, Nelson?
Just a second. Melton. M-E-L-T-O-N.
Okay.
Gary Melton.
All right. What kind of questions you got for me?
Well, I'd like to know a little bit more about... I'd like to know a little bit more about your history. You're kind of saying that you're, a former SF guy.
Yeah.
When did you go to the Q course?
Oh, back in 1991. I can get you the class date probably in a few.
Okay. Would it be possible for you to say, look, if your story checks out, I'm all about it, man. I don't want to, I'm not here to do you dirty or anything like that. But, obviously we have a regiment and, we take that stuff very seriously. Would it be possible for you to send me your DD-214?
Sure. The only thing you haven't done is you haven't told me who you're with.
So I'm with, basically like Valhalla, I have a YouTube channel. Very tactical. I know Nate. I just talked to Nate yesterday, matter of fact.
Yeah, he's a good guy, by the way. I'm a fan of his.
We're great. We're good friends, and
Okay.
I see. Yeah. So if you could send me your DD-214, and we can verify your story, and we can get to the bottom of. We all want the truth.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about.
We do too.
Yeah. That's actually what we're all trying to do. Did it just switch
how long
over?
were you at group?
How long were you at group? Sorry, the phone's switching to Bluetooth.
We're switching to Bluetooth
okay.
here give it a minute for the fight for the Bluetooth here.
No worries.
Oh, there it goes. Good job.
How long was I in group?
Yes, sir.
About from 93, what was it, March? I want to say February, March of 93 until November 15 November 1996.
You said, say it a little more time for me.
February, March.
February, March
of 93.
93 until 15 November 96.
And what was your MOS?
18 Charlie.
Now I know in some of the other documents and stuff, you said you were a medic as well.
I went through the 300 F1 course. Broke my back there down in Fort Sam, Houston. It was just something stupid, Sergeant Dagnon. You can probably look him up on SF Brothers or something. He's a good guy, but also I think every one of us are assholes. I was just one of the young guys that he convinced to go up to. I was known for going up to the Guadalupe River between Fort Sam and between San Antonio and Austin.
Yep.
Great place to go vacation, all that stuff. And in the summertime, they do they float down the river, and the girls show us all their tits and stuff. It's a fun time. I was young, honey.
Oh, the Me Too ladies are going to have a field day with that one.
I know,
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm a guy, you like that part. So look, no, I was known for going up there, and we were running into a problem qualifying guys, getting them their jumps in for hazardous duty pay. He knew I was going up there, so I took the route he told me, but we didn't, count on the fact that winter there had been a what do you call those things? A sinkhole that developed there, and it ate away at the little cliff, and I ended up falling like 60 feet. I broke my everything, broke all the tarsals of my feet, calcaneus, both calcaneuses, left kneecap shredded in half. I had to squeeze that back on. Lower lumbar, first, second, and third lumbars. Later on, we found out that I also had broken my C5 and 6. Complete dislocation of left arm, torn labrum.
You're lucky. You're lucky. You're not only lucky that you're alive. You're lucky you can still even walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is out there in the internet. He has said exactly what happened to him, what he broke. Gary Melton is even there saying, "Oh my God, you're lucky to still be alive." Nobody out there can say, "Well, we don't know exactly what happened." Yeah, you do. And if you're not informed. Tough shit for you.
It was, that's a God thing. There was a Colonel, hold on, I remember his name. He's a good guy. Starts with Firth. Colonel Firth. He was in charge of the 300 F1 course back then. And he wanted me to go right back into the course because they couldn't recycle people back then. We didn't have enough slots. And yeah, that was like the first time I ever stood up for myself, and I said, look, people, I'm broken head to toe. I need some time off. I told them I have to go home for a little bit. And I think I took 3 weeks. I went home and climbed mountains. I'm an idiot. But yeah, they put me in a Jewett brace. I came back and I had to get recycled into the next class, but they wouldn't be able to get me in for like, I don't know, a year or so. But I was right at the point of starting the internship, and then that's right before they sent me back to Bragg for Goat Lab. So I pretty much I did the internship at the Brooklyn Army Medical Center burn ward.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of that when all this happened.
So did you ever go to an ODA?
Yeah, ODA 163166. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 163?
163 and 166.
166. So you were a first group?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So was I. Yeah, I was on 183, 185.
Oh, so you're an old dog too, because you got the old numbers. All right.
Yeah. They actually, when I got there, we actually switched to 1323, and so I was there. I got there in 2006.
Oh, you got there.
So
that's actually a little bit. Were they still doing? Because I thought they switched the numbers up. Didn't they do that around 2000 or so?
No. It was 2006, 2007 that they went to the new numeric system.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure out the numeric whatever system. Somebody tried to explain it to me before, and I don't know. Okay.
Well, it used to be obviously first group, sixth company, 13, right? And now it's first. So it's first. Like for 183 instead of being one first group, 8th company, 13. It is first group.
So forgive me, guess what? You've already lost me, sir.
Third battalion, third battalion, second company, 13. So they just added the battalion in there is really what it is. So it's just simplified.
We'll keep driving around while we got you on the car thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get you documents, no problem. I got it. We got all the documents.
It's Gary at ParamountTactical.com.
Gary at Paramount.
I'll text it to you.
Okay,
no offense, I'm going to go ahead and do my own lookup on YouTube, because I don't know, you sound suspect, you know.
We got our back.
I'll be doing private stuff for you on my own YouTube channel. If you do, okay, sir, we're talking here, and I know why you're calling me and stuff. I really have to laugh stuff up, because I've been through some hell shit, and I've been trying to learn our voice for a long while, but, you know, and I laugh and joke a lot, because it's just fucking ridiculous. Well, yeah, if you tell me, no, I've been a fan. I actually tried to get on the show. I paid money to try and give him the test. I wanted him to vet me. Okay, you tell him that. I wanted to go through. And I'm like, what the actual? You are busy. And, yeah, I've sent him all the records, all that kind of stuff. I'll send them to you. Can you do me one favor? Just, the guys around here, there's some vets around here. I've had a real problem with them. I give them records. Next thing you know, things get propagated. People copy stuff off. That's been one of the problems I've had around here with vets. I'm not a real, I should say, not a real fan of a lot of vets around here.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's disgusting. He hasn't gotten any assistance from the vet. I've had the same issue with all of the expat trailing spouses. You know, it really is disgusting, because anybody could be in this situation. I mean, with the vets, with the Army, and then, you know, the trailing spouses, the FACO, Federation of American Women's Clubs Overseas, that's really Diplomatic Corps, State Department, and corporate. But any of those people, they're really in a precarious situation, but they're too busy in their country clubs. I mean, the military wives, you know, there's all of this different military groups, but it's all the same. And these ladies really should take a look in the mirror and get up off their little tuffets.
trust people with
Well,
documents.
here's what I'll tell you, man. Listen, I think there's nothing more important than integrity.
Uh-huh,
And if you send me any
100%.
records, number one, I will. Look, I have a good reputation in the SF community and online and everywhere else. What I'm not going to do is, I'm not going to send your record to anybody.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I'll say that. I will confirm or deny your records verbally. I'm not here to smear you. I'm not here to mess with you or anything like that. I want to know if the story.
I mean, I cannot believe he just said that when very clearly he's setting him up. See, this is what most people out there are not understanding, all the podcasters opining on all of this. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, and we know very well you don't trust anybody. As Mitch said, I'm sick and tired of all of these. It's like the FBI. I'll talk to him the first time, and they'll be real nice, and then they'll leave the room, come back in, and want to arrest me. Oh God, yeah. This is a fascist state. I've been saying fascism for years, and it's not a term I'm throwing around lightly. I'm calling a spade a spade.
Story is true.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
Get it.
And I'm going to send you my personal contact information right now. And if you need anything from me beyond this, and like I said, I'd love to have you on the show. Okay. Let's get to the truth.
Yeah,
simple as that.
That sounds great.
And I said this in the last video. See, let's get to the truth. We're all working together, or then we'll see how he stabs him in the back. But the military, we see it time and time again. They are complicit and involved. I mean, the military guys having prostitutes, like with the Romanian Angels issues that came up, or this being involved of trafficking of children and sex trafficking, or through adoption services. There's all sorts of different venues. There's organs. Some of these kids are being killed and mined for their organs. It's terrible, terrible, terrible what's happening. And nobody, polite society, it doesn't matter. It's a revolving door. It doesn't matter what your color is, what your nationality is, what your, as soon as people get a bit of money, they just get corrupted.
And I haven't had a whole lot of luck. As a matter of fact, those guys in SF Brothers, I helped start that. I'm one of the people that helped at the beginnings of SF Brothers and Facebook and stuff. I'm one of the first 100 that got onto there. And to put that together for guys, because, you probably remember, since you were there earlier, if you got out prior to like 2006, you went out into a black abyss. You got cut off. I mean, it was hard enough to keep track of guys that you knew that were on the teams right across the hall from you, because everybody's on such a tempo. But then all of a sudden you're outside of group. People move, people change orders, people within a year, you're sort of cut off. And we
lose contact with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Facebook thing actually ended up being a good, place for everybody to sort of meet up after.
Platform, yeah.
Yeah. And that's where,
this is part of my whole Global Expats project, was when I saw the Facebook, and I said, see, this is working. The networking platforms, you can do groups and everything. I had the same idea at about the same time.
What was his name?
I just wasn't a nerdy kid who knew how to do all the software.
He died a few years ago, the guy who started it. Really good guy. Still got him on the friends list somewhere. I'll remember it. But Thomas Drinkard, some of the old guys there, we put it together. They wanted me to be the admin at first, and I said, no, heck no. Because prior to that, I had worked for Microsoft, and I gave him hints and whatnot, and I was real glad when Bill Olson stepped up and take it over. But
in fact, it was when Microsoft took an interest in the prototype the Global Expat prototype I had made for me. Well, the web designers are in Florida, but I'm still in Spain, in Madrid, and that's 2006 I contracted them. And they were supposed to take 3 months and 9 months, and they still hadn't finished it. And then they tried to extort me of $25,000 at the end. Long story after that, but
he turned out to, when things went bad for me like 2 years ago, oh, I can tell you, those guys did not.
What happened 2 years ago?
Oh.
Was that with your custody battle and everything going on with your son?
Yeah.
I have been trying to get divorced for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. They finally let me.
I've been there.
You went through a 10-year divorce?
not 10 years, but I went through a really
10 years?
really bad divorce, put it that way. It wasn't 10
Yeah.
years, but kids were involved, and I was on deployments, and she was trying to keep the kids from me, so I can, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
I'm one of the guys, so
really?
it's been...
We're going to have to check in to Gary Melton's divorce and custody battle.
Because of my unique history. And because I did get targeted by something else that had been intentionally using this, I don't know, flaw inside of our judicial system. They just took advantage of it. And, I've had a lot of people coerced in my life while I've been going through it. My wife was one, and after a lot of events in 2013,
his new wife he's talking about coerced her.
she finally, here I was, a broken guy. I couldn't defend her. They could do whatever they wanted, and she was deciding to go ahead and flip sides. So I decided, for my safety, my son's safety, we had to divorce, and it was supposed to be reasonable, but it became real unreasonable.
Oh, okay. I remember I was listening to this, and I was like, what? I think what is happening here, still I need to talk to Mitch, is I think what's happening here was his wife was going to actually out him out, like tell the cartel where he was or something. Get him killed.
And
real quick,
allegations started flying. Because I'm special forces, I must have combat PTSD, therefore I'm a white.
Allegations in the courts started flying. This is the typical tactic. I mean, with me, and I love it. My ex says that I was a juvenile delinquent and drug addict, alcoholic, whatever, since the time I was, I don't know, it changed from 11 or 14. The thing is, I went to boarding school, and I just laughed, and I'm like, oh, you're going to call Foxcroft School in Virginia a juvenile delinquent center for drug addicts? And Cobham Hall in England? You guys are really going to try and pull that one out? I mean, and I would think that Cobham and Foxcroft would be incessant about all of this. I mean, this is all the robber baron heiresses that went to Foxcroft. I'm like, well, let's examine that contention of juvenile delinquents and drug addicts. Let's take a look at that. That I get into in my deep state. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But check those out. I'm like, you guys want to play that shit game with me? So it's always, and this is the same thing that's going on with Tyler Robinson, and this is why the Tyler Robinson assuring due process for him is just as important as what Mitch is trying to do in cleaning up the courts. So, ultimately, really, what Candace and her supporters are trying to do are ultimately the same goal as Mitch Snow. It's just, coming from different angles and different arenas. So let's listen on.
Wife beating, alcoholic, drug addict.
All the
Oh,
allegations.
serial murderer, serial rapist, pretty much every piece of spaghetti that can be thrown up on.
Oh, okay. I think I know now why he put the thing out on X about his father being the serial killer. Serial killer. His ex-wife accused him of that in the court stuff, and so he's coming out, jumping the gun that this subject's going to come out. So he's jumping the gun and putting it out there before they do.
On the wall, it's been accused of me.
Sure.
And I've been fighting through that, trying to hold on to custody of my, I helped raise my son. I was a stay-at-home dad. But no, they've done everything they can to criminalize me. And I noticed long ago that this was a pattern, not just with me, but
Across the board. Mm-hmm.
across the board with SF guys. And it pissed me off.
And that they use the SF status too.
It drove some guys to suicide. Mm-hmm. It drove others.
Yeah, and they use the SF status for advantages.
You really got to wonder if it was suicide.
Right.
Yeah, and it is causing people to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Alan Dershowitz' wife committed suicide New Year's Eve. I forget what year, in the 80s. It was never even known about his first wife, of course, except for New York. But I mean, the general public, until it came out one time, somebody found it on the internet and posted it. Susan Barlash, something like that. But see, everybody's all on Alan Dershowitz about the Epstein stuff. What about what he did to his first wife? Then we have Bobby Kennedy's second wife, Mary Roberts. Is it Mary? What is it? Mary, I want to say Richardson or Robertson. I'm forgetting her name. Mary, his second wife, she committed suicide. I mean, okay, that's not all Bobby's fault. First off, see, her best friend, I still want to know, apparently Sheridan Easley said this in one of her book readings, was that like 2 or 3 days before Mary hung herself, Carrie came in to visit her. And I want to know what Carrie said to her. Carrie, the head of a human rights organization. See the hypocrisy of the human rights people? Amal's another one in there of the human rights. But so anyway, we have 200,000 suicides per year globally. And it's all this shit.
I've been trying to raise this issue with several of our brothers, and it just typically goes nowhere. Nobody wants, do you know who Landon Valentine is?
No, I don't actually. Landon Melton, who is he?
He was I want to say he was an officer in SF, but he was in, I think, 5th group, more East Coast. But yeah, he was in the room. That poor guy they just murderized him in court and it was all based upon our SF status. That's what they do. You're special forces? Oh, you must be all these other things. I'm not a gun nut. I mean, I don't mind guns. I know how to use them. Probably don't want to be on the other end when I do. But yeah, I'm not a big gun nut.
No. He's talking to a gun nut.
I like fishing. I'd like to take my boy fishing.
We like Florida.
Yeah, Florida was nice.
Florida was nice. Mm-hmm.
But 2 years ago, my son came forward to report that he was being abused, and that didn't match the narrative of what they were trying to put down on me. He wasn't being abused by me. He was reporting being abused by mom, and she was doing it intentionally. We found the medical record. She was trying to set me up for a charge of child abuse. And she was getting help from the courts, from a judge over here, a couple of them. When my son came forward to report her, well, they they snapped back and retaliated. And eventually they threw me in jail under allegation. I can't help but laugh this allegation. Yeah, the allegation that I was either the leader or hiring party of a unidentified biker gang to stage a mass kill event at the courthouse to kill judges.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? That's serious.
See, the thing is the kill judges thing. I mean, I want to know what little grain of what he said sometime that was translated into a mass killing of judges or something. I mean, because anybody who's gone through any of the court and been a victim of the courts, I think they'll be like, oh, is there a line that I can get into to go and do that? So again, not advocating for any violence. However, I'm sure, some offhand remark of like, God, I'd love to kill that person or something to that effect, which we all say. And maybe even not that. That's just something they pull things out of the hat like you can't believe. The family courts, it is, I mean, just incredible. One of the first lawyers I met with in Spain, and I mean, by the time I had finished, I don't know, at least a dozen lawyers I have met with, probably more. And then I think I ended up going through 7 or something. But anyway, this was one. She said to me, that I was being stupid and naive, that because I said that, I mean, this is all absolute, this is perjury, this is incredible, these are all lies. I mean, these are court documents. And she treated me like I was some stupid idiot. She said, everybody lies in court. It's expected. I mean, I was flabbergasted. I was like, well, this is Spain. When I go back to the States, they're going to be like, oh my God. Oh, no. I'll go back to the States. Welcome to the club.
I can show you the criminal record. It's horrible. It looks terrible.
Yeah, they just make up.
Yeah.
And like, they'll make up an arrest. Oh, all of a sudden he was arrested. I mean, Trump, I'm sorry. The stuff that they went on, oh, Trump, he's a convicted felon and stuff. All of the bullshit that you people went through in New York to get those felony charges on him. There's holes all over the place, more than any Swiss cheese you ever found. It doesn't hold water. Nobody has confidence. People laugh at you now. Oh, he's got a conviction of that. Well, yeah, well, is it a real one or is it a fake one?
The only problem with that is there was no evidence. There's no
probable cause.
Just like saying, I'm not a gun nut, probably not typical SF guy either. But yeah, I don't have a Harley. I don't ride motorcycles. I don't know anybody. I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody in a motorcycle gang ever.
Yeah, I think that the whole Harley thing was big in the even I think that was kind of the end of there was a big push in the SF community with like almost like these biker gang type things going on within teams in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of faded out to my generation as well.
Yeah, but they still use that
and there was guys that were getting hung up. Strung up, I don't know. I guess they thought they were the Sons of Liberty and SF guys, and that's never a booze, bikes,
no kidding.
SF guys.
Nobody's ever presented to me that way, but now I sort of get that. Now I can sort of see that. Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Okay, so I did go through all of Mitch's.
I walk around in Tommy Bahamas.
I went through all of this discussion in another video, so we won't do all of this, but I did want to give people kind of a feeling of what we're talking about here. Oh, shoot, this is this guy. This was not the one that I wanted to pull up.
I'm I'm 100% in full.
That gives an idea. Shoot, okay. This is what I wanted.
Yeah, hi, is this Mitch?
Oh, sorry. As they say, my bad. Let's go to Paramount. See, I've been following. I mean, I started following. I mean, I don't even watch the yeah, this is it.
I was just one of the young guys.
Okay. So I don't even watch the any of the news channels.
Investigative journalist, I called the man to get his side of the story in completely good faith. And there was a couple of things that I told him that I want to make sure that we set the record straight on. But before we get to that, number one, I do want to lay out some ground rules for this. Number one, we welcome you to disagree. All right, I encourage you to disagree. And I'm encouraging you to ask me hard questions, all those things. With that being said, we're not going to put up with anybody trolling in the comments. We're not going to put up, which I've been getting slammed by bots left and right, all over our YouTube comments, all over X. Every single one that you pull up is either a new account, a low follower account. It is clearly not a real person behind it. And I will say, like we talked about the other night, stock public accounts. There could be a real person behind there, but it's somebody that's managing, 50, 100 different accounts, and all they are there to do is to push propaganda. So this is extremely.
Yeah, this we'll see in future videos in depth. This problem of it is a real problem, and I mean, I don't know if YouTube is just enabling it or if they're involved. So yeah,
artificial, and it's very, very obvious. The other thing too is we will take questions at the end. I'm going to go through. We're going to play this video. I'm going to put some context into all this stuff. But we'll play this video. We'll stop every now and then talk. I don't think Jay Witt has watched this. I know Dove hasn't watched this. So I want their initial and raw reactions with all of this stuff. So again, I called this guy in good faith, and I said, "Hey, look, man, I just want to hear the truth from you." And I told him specifically, "If you're telling me the truth, I will be your biggest advocate." I meant that.
Yeah. Okay. So we heard the video, the conversation, or part of the conversation there, how Gary was so nice. As I say, this is the same type of things that they do in child trafficking, particularly, and to lure, come on, little girl, I have a piece of candy. Oh, here, be real nice, and lure your victim into a false sense of security, and then, yeah, bam.
I also told him, if I find out you're lying, I will call you out. I also meant that. Multiple times throughout that phone call, he lied to me. And we're going to talk about it in their obvious lies. Now, the other thing I want to mention is number one.
Doesn't say what the lies are.
And he asked me if I was recording. I had a recorder ready to go. And I said, no, I'm not recording. And I decided not to record in good faith. Little did I know, well, look, I suspected, just given the type of personality that he is and how manipulative.
He hangs himself out to dry by saying, I suspect that he doesn't want to be seen as an idiot and a chump who's been caught.
He is, that he was going to be recording. All right. I did nothing wrong. This was a perfectly good phone call. This was the best phone call. It was a perfect phone call. Best phone call ever. All right. It's a real investigative phone call asking him questions. That's what we're here to do. And apparently there's only one side of this discussion that can actually ask questions.
Investigating. You don't just, one phone call. This journalist pulled this shit with me. Her name's Debbie Bruno. I meet with her and she said, I spoke with your husband and he doesn't corroborate what you're saying. I'm like, I was sitting there like, are we in like Saudi Arabia? What? I was flabbergasted. Anyway, well, she's gonna have to answer questions in court.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna be a dick to him or anything else. People are like, oh, you act like you're a buddy with him. Yeah, I freaking talked to this guy, and again, this is before I found out all the other things about him from his wife, ex-wives, his people that he's been in a relationship with, from his children, this is the very first phone call in this entire investigation that I made. This is what we got. So again, we found out a bunch of other information. One of the, and I keep hearing this thing where people are like, well, where's there proof that the ex-wives are telling the truth? Well, here's the real proof that the ex-wives are telling the truth. Lene told us that she did not trap him in the garage, break his thumbs with a hammer, and lock him in there and then bash him over the head with a hammer. He said on June 25th of 2016, that's what she did. Well, guess what? We had video evidence that was a lie. We have documented police report, and we have a conviction from that date. It is proof that he turned this entire story from misery, where his wife led him into the garage, locked him in there, broke his thumbs, broke his feet, hit him over the head with a hammer, left the hammer, and went inside. And then he had to beat the door handle off to get inside to get to his kid. It's proof that he's a liar. The other thing that we found out today is that
where's proof that he's a liar? He has a video. Effectively, there is a video with Mitch angry and hitting the car with the hammer. Okay, but the funny thing is, Gary disagrees that Mitch should have gotten in trouble for any of that. The conviction, excuse me, the conviction was on that point, and Gary says he doesn't agree with that. Gary says it's your, it's what is it, common property, and if it's his stuff, if he wants to hit it and break it, he can do that. Well, that's something about Gary's temper, but so let's go on. On, I think, December 1st, in his I don't know, efforts for fame and fortune or whatever, popularity, he also efforts for fame and fortune and popularity. I think Gary needs to take a mirror out. Claims that his father was the Zodiac Killer, which is
I did see that.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We just looked at that.
Can I say something about?
I explained that. So let's hear their response.
About that real quick.
Absolutely.
Because when I saw this, I was like, this is a joke, right? Somebody sent telling me like this guy's claiming to be his dad to be the Zodiac Killer. I was like, there's no way, that's not real life. They're messing with me. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, look, either way you look at this, either he's lying about his dad being the Zodiac Killer, or he's telling the truth. Both of those things are equally as bad.
Right.
What do you mean? Both of them are equally as bad? If his father was some serial killer, that's not his fault. And I mean, my God, coming from a family like that, and a guy, I mean, everything that I've seen in the interviews that I've seen with him, the people that are supporting him, he seems like a very normal, decent guy. I'm sure he has his faults. I'm sure he has some anger management problems, but he apparently has worked through them. He enjoys going out fishing. So obviously he's worked through them. But my Lord, growing up with a father like that and a family like that, I mean, I complain about my family, but I know very well, and I've always known this, that relatively speaking, and this is putting the bar down low, so, I had it relatively well. I mean, materially, in terms of material, much better than most of this world, most of the United States. But
right.
And again, we've continued to catch him in lie after lie after lie. Those are just facts.
You don't catch him in any lies.
Hey, Gary.
They're playing the same game with Mitch as they are with Candace. This is a typical bully, psychopath, abuser, whatever you want to call them. It's a typical strategy. They project. We'll see them doing this. This woman, oh Lord.
Before you play the video, can you please just make sure everyone fully understands the timeline? Because I think that's where the strength of Cantifa is in confusing people about the timeline. That, well, Gary said that he wasn't on the campus.
Cantifa? Is that what they're calling it? My God.
or he wasn't at Fort Hawktua. But then Gary on the audio says that, well, can you help them understand, like, when are the dates and the times that this is? Because this is, I just want to make sure that everybody knows, when was this recording made? When was the phone call made? What is the date and the time of it? Because you didn't know a lot of other things about him that you know now when you pick the phone and called him then. I don't think people fully understand. I want to make sure people fully understand that, because I think that's the strength of Cantifa, is that they don't fully understand the times. But
yeah, so this is, when I called him on December 20th, it was right after, I don't know, within days of her actually having him on the show. So I wanted to know from his own words, like, I wanted to know what was going on. I also wanted to verify of his story when it came to his military records. One of the things I asked him on that phone call, you guys will see, is I said, hey, send me your DD-214. Let me look at what's going on with that. He sent me his DD-214. So the guy was a green
form DD-214. I think everybody's going to end up seeing that one. I think Mitch is going to be the first to say, yeah, go ahead. Here's the proof. So yeah, Mitch is not going to come out in public, and Candace is not going to be bringing him out in public unless he has all of this documented. Yeah, he's got some skeletons in his closet. So do I. I want to pull everybody's skeletons out of their closets, and that's why they want to shut me up. Because we're going to have a field day with mummies all over the place.
Beret. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. I always thought from the beginning, and I have a whole montage of videos that I always thought that he was on Fort Huachuca. That's the proof that he told Candace. I don't doubt that he was on Fort Huachuca.
So the thing is he keeps on jumping over the fence. I don't say that he wasn't at Fort Huachuca. Well, then where's the problem? Because that's all that Mitch has brought to this discussion. He's an eyewitness. He said, I saw some people at Fort Huachuca. I'm an eyewitness that I saw some people someplace. What they were doing there, I don't know. This is where Candace's investigation comes in. Now, Candace she's the one to find out what they were doing there. Mitch is done. I mean, he's just like, here are some people that I saw. But no, so this whole witch hunt, it's like the Salem witch hunt, is just ridiculous. And from where I'm sitting, I'm sorry, but I'm very happy that this is happening, because it's bringing out the problem in family courts. And I hope to God, that's what I'm doing, why I'm jumping in, and I'm doing all of these videos and going detail by detail by detail into the lies and the manipulations that are going on here.
What I knew was a lie from the beginning was the idea of him walking into and stumbling upon some secret meeting, and then you have to make it further.
Yeah, okay. So
further logical jump, saying that meeting had to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, I didn't make that assumption. Candace Owens did, and nobody else out there. Candace Owens at the beginning of that episode said, hey, after you hear this story, there's no other conclusion you're going to be able to come to other than that the U.S. government is going to have to admit they were involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So
that is a bold-faced lie. Candace Owens never, ever, ever, ever said that or anything to the effect. This is the same. They've been doing that. Ben Shapiro did that with Megyn Kelly on the podium. They're pulling this same game again and again and again and again, no matter how many times you explain it to them. Nobody said that. You're the one who is lying. And the thing is that Mitch Snow is going to come into a high-level meeting. No, he didn't walk into a high-level meeting. Of course not. He walked into a building and the lobby. We all know you've got these lobbies in all of these buildings. Some of them bigger than the others, and people come and go, and they're going to one. Mitch, he was waiting in the lobby. He never got in this building. Then they came because he was there in this lobby. Oh my God, what is this guy doing? They panic. They think somebody's found them out, and this is some sort of counter espionage. And so, oh God, we got to stop this guy and find out who he is. So let's make up a story that we think he's bizarre and he's got a bomb and we got to check him out. That's what happened. But, and Candace Owens, I mean, I hope Candace sues all of the, well, Gary particularly, because he's at the lead, Alex Jones and Gary, because they're both at the lead at all of these lies.
She planted that seed and that assumption from the very beginning that this was proof.
I haven't had my kids, I haven't had anything else to do during Christmas but to watch this shit show. So I've watched everything. I've listened to all of the testimonies, all of the different commentators, all of the evidence. So believe me, I've watched it all. I've listened to it all.
Proof of a meeting that was held, a secret meeting at Joint Task Force Southern Border, which has nothing to do with anything, Charlie Kirk, that they were planning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's what she said all throughout that. And on top of that, in that episode, in both episodes that she had with this guy, or talking about his story, all throughout, she claims, hey, this guy's telling the truth. I vouch for him on this. There's
my mother used to pull this all of the time. Like, oh my God, we got to shut her up. We got to shut her up because you know what she's going to do. You know what she's going to say. You know what? And you'd be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Have you looked at it? I mean, my entire family does it. Every time, have you looked at anything that I've posted on the internet all of these years? My blogs, my work, my research. Oh, I haven't had time. My brother and sister are both single. No family, no nothing. But no, they don't have any time. I mean, my mom pulled the same thing on me.
No other conclusion that you're going to come to that this is other than this is true. And then she stated that Brian Harpel was there. She stated that Erica Kirk was there the night before. She has since somehow came out that Cabot Phillips was there. That's been proven incorrect. That was after the fact. I guess she sent him a photo or something like that. Was this guy? Oh yeah, he was there too. Congressman.
Yeah, he stated who he said he saw or thought he saw. I mean, you go, well, I think it was that person. Can you ever be 100% sure of somebody you saw, unless you really, really know the person? Of course, it's your brother, your sister, or somebody you've known for a long, long, long time, you're going to be able to recognize them. But somebody that you do not know, you're never going to be really 100% certain, unless they're like a really famous person. But even then, they don't have their makeup on, and you know,
Amode, or Amade, however you say his name, yeah, proven that is not true. So 2 out of the 4 people have a airtight alibi. The other 2 do as well.
Okay, 2 out of the 4 people have an airtight alibi. No, not so much. They keep on, that's another talking point they keep on repeating.
I have additional documents proving that Brian Harpel wasn't there, that he doesn't want shared to the public. And there's other things.
Oh, see, he's like, oh, look at me. I got some inside intel. All of these inside, you know, oh, I've got this from my source. When everybody's saying that, I'm like, you guys, you do know that you're admitting that this is like rampant corruption and everybody's getting leaked information from everybody.
Going on with that whole situation as well. I also know that Erica Kirk's alibi is solid as well.
Right. And I did a video about how Frank Turek inadvertently confirmed that Erica wasn't there, because him and Charlie Kirk went on a walk. And before he went on the walk, Charlie Kirk was late. Yep. Charlie Kirk was late coming outside because he said Gigi woke up and he had to tend to her. And so that means that the baby, the girl, is in the house. Now, if Erica's out somewhere gallivanting around, I don't know how Charlie just left his daughter in the house by herself.
That's just hearsay. I mean, these people, they need to learn a little bit about like evidence and rules of evidence in a court of law, because I know we're not in a court of law, but this is the problem. This country, I mean, before, Americans were known for being honest and straightforward and to their word. Okay, it wasn't perfect in that in the practice, but relatively speaking to other countries, we were. No longer.
Herself, or Erica's in the house. It's very simple. So these are the things that people seem to,
these people have no proof of this. I mean,
and I've made this point quite a bit. If you're trying to be gracious to somebody, I don't dig into and say, well, Gary, you got to tell me every nanosecond of where you were between this time and that time. If you say, Jason, I was at the range, or Jason, I was at the shop, or I was at, fixing my Harley.
If you are involved in a murder investigation, yes. And if you were questioned by a detective and you started lying to the detective, they would be questioning what you're saying. Are you obligated to answer? No, because you're not under oath. You could say, well, I'm not answering, I take the fifth. Well, then they would be like, well, why are you taking the fifth? So that would put you under suspicion. But no, a person who's just there walking around or something, they have no obligation to tell anybody anything. But when you're involved in a murder investigation, again, you aren't obligated because you're not under oath. But if you don't, come forth, why wouldn't you? I mean, even if you say, look, I'm having an affair and I was with my mistress, you can go and check it out with her, but please, I don't want my wife to know. Or if it's a woman, I'm having an affair and I don't want my husband to know, whatever. And so you can go and check it out with this person, but please, so you can cut me off your list, but please, they will verify that I was there. I've got my phone, the metadata, whatever, but please, can we keep this out for my wife from finding out? And usually the cops are going to be like, well, yeah, fine. That's not their job.
Okay. He's fixing Harley. All right, there we go. That's it. Enough said. Yeah. On to the next discussion. But because we're not trying to be gracious, and Cantifa can't be gracious because they themselves have not received grace, then they can't do that. And they can't conceptualize that, you know what? Gary probably was. If Gary said he was in the kitchen making himself a sandwich, he's not taking a picture of himself making a sandwich. There's not going to be metadata of him spreading the peanut butter, right, on the French toast.
But it will say that
being the case, I'm just going to take that Gary said he was in the kitchen making himself a sandwich.
Well,
and there's not going to be evidence or some way to
precisely. Let's get Erica Kirk's phones. We'll get the metadata. Where was she? I mean, I assume if she was really smart, she would have left her phone at the house and not taken it with her, but I don't think anybody here is this smart.
To prove that, go ahead.
Well, again, where this comes back to is the principle that, guess what, if you're going to accuse somebody of something, you need to have evidence of the accusation, not somebody constantly having to prove that they're innocent of a crime that you're, accusing them of.
But nobody has accused her of a crime. Nobody.
We have everything backwards. Everything about this entire investigation from the Candace side has been absolutely backwards. It's accuse first, come to a conclusion first, and then try to find evidence that supports that. And then instead of actual evidence of the accusation, hey, you know what? Let's force everybody to prove their innocence. That is some Salem witch trial bullshit, and it's just it's an upside down world.
It is an upside down world because that is precisely what they are doing to Tyler Robinson, and what they're trying to do here to Mitch Snow and to Candace Owens. This is precisely why it is super dangerous what Gary Melton is doing and why people need to denounce what he is trying to do to Mitch and what he's been trying to do to Candace as well. I mean, projection. This guy definitely have some anger management problems. And let's just say highly lacking in empathy, put it politely.
completely agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. I cannot imagine being any of these people that are being sucked into this and being, dragged across the internet, because once accusations are made, you can't take those back. Public opinion is public opinion, just like in your community.
Exactly. Once accusations are made, you can't take them back. Everybody calling Mitch Snow on the internet, a wife beater. He's going to be dragged through the mud with the whole witch hunt thing mentality that's out there, the Me Tooers, this poor man. I sent an email to Candace. They haven't been answering any of mine, anybody any better than anybody else. They just ignore me. Fine, whatever. The podcasters are just getting on board with the journalists. Because these are precisely all of these tactics and manipulations and lack of due process. I called Mitch Snow, I talked with him, now I'm going to bury him. And I'm going to go out there searching for anything that I can find on this guy to try and drag his name through the mud so we can deviate attention away from the meeting that apparently took place at Fort Huachuca. Because at first, we just had some people, this guy saying, I think I saw Harple, I think I saw Erica Kirk, I'm pretty sure. We had that before Candace left on holiday 2 weeks ago. And now we're all over the place. I don't know if Candace did this on purpose or not. I don't know. She might have.
If somebody in your community gets arrested for something terrible like essaying somebody, whether they go to trial and are found not guilty or whether the charges are dismissed, everyone in your town is looking at that person and remember them being arrested for essay, whether they did it or not.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here. But they know that. They know that. Joe Biden wrote it in his pardon.
That's exactly what happened to Mitch Snow. It was, and what they're doing here, just get the arrest. The same thing happened with me. The same thing my ex-husband did with me. And I'm still going to fight it, and I still want it expunged because it was bullshit. But see, just get them arrested, and then that's the only thing anybody remembers. And the fact that they're playing this game in this podcast is disgusting.
That he was pardoning these people because Donald Trump was going to go after them and try to ruin them and their reputation and financially and blah, 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 blah. I cannot imagine accusing people of things like this and dragging them into this without any proof. And when I heard that Candace Owens was sending photos to this man asking, was this person there? Was this person there? Anyone that's following this should have immediately completely stopped listening to anything that was going on. That's not how this works.
Are you kidding me? When I heard this, I was like, I'm not going to have time to do this. But just go online, anybody, look at any detective, cop show or anything. What do they first do? They bring them in. Here, some mug shots. Can you go through? And they might go through hours and hours and hours of mug shots. Does anybody look, familiar? Bring the perp line. You got to walk the perp line. You come in. Do any of these people look? You're behind the glass where they can't see you. This girl's an idiot. How much do they pay her? And they criticize people of making money, Mitch of making money. Podcasters like these should be ashamed of themselves.
You can't just do that.
Yeah, it's completely backwards. All right, so let's go ahead and play this video. And
if somebody, if somebody says, yeah, well, I saw this person more or less this height, this color eye, color hair, had a tattoo, something, well, you're going to be, okay, well, here are the photos that I have of possible people that it might be. And I'm not going to tell you who they are precisely. You don't want to, influence them. Here are these photos. Do any of these people look like it could possibly be that? Oh, yeah, this person here. That's not how it's done. God.
Let's hear about this super, I don't know, problematic phone call that I had with Mitch Snow. And then
your
you guys,
investigative journalism, that's a problem because you were actually going to a primary source. Wild.
It is crazy.
Oh, you're actually going to a primary source. Like, you called the guy. Oh, wow, great investigative journalism. That's step one.
How long were you at group? Sorry, the
Let me know if you guys can hear it okay.
I already saw this.
Yeah, who's this?
Okay, let's go through this.
Rolling so fast.
Yeah, Dr. Mr. Valhalla. He had some ideas. Well, and who are you again? Your Nate, Gary. Sorry, Nelson?
Melton, N-E-L-T-O-N.
Okay. All right, what kind of questions you got for me?
Let's see where they start talking. I mean, I'm just going to skip over this because, as I say, you can go and listen to, I just kind of want to get their discussion.
You know, I don't, you probably remember since you were there. I'm loading up the vehicle to go for this meeting.
Issues. So the judges in that county have recused themselves. I've seen this multiple times. I didn't bring up Nate's name. He brought it up. He said, "Oh, I really like Valhalla." I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I'm friends with Nate. I know him. You know, but like, what do you want me to do? Act like I don't know him? I do know him." And I called Nate and told him about this phone call right after we talked.
Yeah, we put it together. They wanted me to be the admin first, and I said, "No, heck no." Even if I did that, I left Microsoft, and I gave him hints and whatnot. And I was real glad when Bill Olson stepped up and took it over. But he turned out to, when things went bad for me like 2 years ago. I can tell you, those guys did not.
What happened 2 years ago?
Oh.
Is that with your custody battle and everything going on with your son?
I've been trying to get divorced for 10 years.
Well,
yeah.
How many?
They finally.
How many years? So he has, okay, the divorce has been ongoing for over 10 years, not because of Lene's lack of effort. What he has continued to do is to slow roll this thing. He has continued to show up almost every time with a new lawyer asking for an extension. And I have verified this with different court documents on that.
Okay, that is a bold-faced lie. He says he's verified that in documents. So I don't know. I still haven't gotten all of Mitch Snow's documents from the court. And so I do have to go over those. That may have happened because that does, particularly in this case where it was a court corruption, you know, maybe because the lawyers in the county are all either they're going to be involved or they don't want to become involved because then they'll get disbarred. So maybe he had a lawyer that found out and said, "I'm not going to come." So I don't know what he's referring to there, but that is not what is happening. And Gary Melton knows it. He is intentionally lying there.
I don't know what else is going on with Lene. There's probably a little bit of back and forth. You know, divorces are messy.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with Lene. Their divorces are back and forth. See, he's trying to cover his ass there, but he's not.
It's inexpensive and
expensive.
The other thing too, oh, by the way, this is a really important part of this that I have verified, is that he has accused every judge in those counties of corruption, of other issues. So the judges in that county have recused themselves of taking on their court case, which has made it extremely difficult for Lene to finalize her divorce.
Well, the thing is, if we're looking, you know, this is what Espinda is bringing this case here because we do find these rackets. They're protection rackets. I mean, we've got them in all of the different counties. I mean, with the elderly, with the vets, with the children, all over the place. And yeah, all of the judges are, as I say, it's the same. It's a racket between the judges and the lawyers, and everybody's making a ton of money. And it's become so common that it's just normal. It's just normal, even though it's in complete violation of the U.S. Constitution and human rights conventions.
So it's not because Lene hasn't been trying to get a divorce from this guy. He has continued to slow roll that.
No,
I get the feeling from this guy.
She's the one who has, done all of the manipulations. And this is, as I say, I hope, Mitch, and we can get the international court and really, lay this out, because there are all sorts of different manipulations. We saw it with the Ryan Mata documentary and the last presentation, and the presentation before. That's Patriotic Housewife. She's been doing that as well.
That when you're around people that are just like pathological liars and just like attention and just make things up so that people pay attention to them.
Yeah, we're watching them right now.
Yeah. I get that feeling from this guy. And I get the feeling.
And I get that feeling from you.
This guy is like some sort of, I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the accurate word would be. I just feel like it's super manipulative and calculated.
Okay, so when I get this girl into court, how much do you know about Mitch Snow? Have you ever met him? Did you watch the documentaries? Did you research any of the problems that I think it's oneearth.org or something, that this platform is trying to bring to light? Have you researched? This is supposedly this really top-notch researcher, this woman.
Look, I'm gonna play this video real quick, and we're gonna come back to this in just a second. But this video right here tells you everything that you need to know.
Morning, she
about what's going on here. So this is him.
This video alone that he's gonna bring to you shows you everything you need to know. I mean, anybody who would make a statement like that, you got to be like, wait a second, this person's trying to con me.
This is him claiming that Lene, his little 5'2" wife, stole his car keys as he's trying to leave, took his car keys, lured him into the house, and then beat him. That she had the garage set up as a prison, broke his thumbs, broke his feet, and then, well, let's see what actually happened. Little did she.
Okay, so I want to point out an incongruency here, because in the video that we saw, it was Lene who didn't have her keys. In this scenario, it's Mitch that doesn't have his keys. So see, these are two separate events that they're just trying, because both of them apparently had a hammer involved. You see how the manipulations go, and it's important. That's why it's important to listen to all of the little details. Oh, this is one of the advantage of growing up with a pathological lying mother. I mean, at least when I was younger, I had my siblings, and we'd always be like, "Wait a second, she said that, didn't she? Oh yes, she said that." Because of course she would say, "I never said that."
Little does he know, we have video of that incident. We have police.
We have video of that incident. No, you don't.
Reports from that incident, and we have a conviction from that incident.
No,
you have a conviction of that incident. No, you don't. This thing's been going on for 10 years. Okay? Imagine how many episodes there have been.
Wow, that's crazy.
Loading up the vehicle to go for this meeting.
And another thing I'm just thinking of, in the video that they show that Lene shows with the hammer, she says, that's it. This is the end. This is a divorce. Now, the altercation with her trying to lock up Mitch is when, apparently, as I'm understanding it, he's already left the house and is living outside the house and is coming for visitation to pick up the son. And that's when the altercation happens, with her trying to lock him up and hit him in the head with a hammer. So see, some other details of difference in timeline that don't make sense.
She came out and acting real kind. She took my keys, she took my phone, she went back inside and forced me to go back in and find out what was going on. Lures me to the garage that she pre-set up to be like a little prison. She broke the garage doors. Hoarded stuff was stacked against the windows and the other doors. And she lured me in there and attacked me. Hit me with a hammer.
Yeah, and see, the garage is not the same description as what we saw in the video. So these are different episodes.
Break my thumbs.
Gary lied.
Feet. Back of my skull. And I got the
what year was this?
That was 25 June 2016.
So this is how long this has been going on. And just so everyone know, Mitch is still trying to get a divorce. This has been going on almost 10 years.
Eventually, I was hearing my son cry. I was worried about him, having her maul him with the dogs again. And
so the thing is if you saw how she did with the mobile phone, she said that it was June 25, 2016, but it was just, I'm not very good with the Photoshop and with the videos and stuff, but that wasn't a time on there. And so she's presenting false evidence. She's lying. Isn't that illegal?
He'd done that multiple times. He had been hurt really bad. So when I heard him crying, I used the hammer to go ahead and break the door handle to get back in, to get to my keys, get my son, get my phone. I used the hammer to go ahead and break the door handle to get back in, to get to my keys, get my son, get my phone. And I called for help. I called for dispatch. And she tried to attack me and she pulled on my arm while I was holding the phone, dislocated my arm. That's actually one of the
So just by she's trying to get to his phone, so just by grabbing his arm, dislocated his arm. This guy's like the most fragile guy I've ever met. I mean, he's made of glass.
Well, he had been disabled. And apparently I think she was trying to make him sick as well. In my notes, I think that's what so I don't know what poison she was giving him or what. Maria Jose's Caracosa, her husband, gave her rat poisoning. So these things are happening. People say, oh, that doesn't happen. These people are making it up. No, this is what our society is.
Class.
I'm still recovering from getting surgeries from it.
All right, look, I want to set this clear so that you idiots out there that keep trying to spin this around. I don't care that he smashes the car with a hammer. That's not the point. His intimidating, all this other stuff. The point here is that he turned this incident into a scene from Misery to make himself the victim. He completely fabricated what he just described from whole cloth. He turned what really happened into a complete fantastical piece of fiction.
No, because see, as I say, you have this date, June 25, 16. That can very easily have been put into the video, and this is no proof that this is the same incident that we're talking about.
Touch that Mustang. Stop it!
Touch. And the fact that they're presenting, false evidence, trying to, make us think that this happened on a date, and when it's another date, it shows their bad faith and they're lying and discredits their credibility.
Do not hit my Mustang.
Irritate me all you want. You're ruining our relationship because you gave your keys to your cousin.
I didn't give my keys to anybody.
You're the one who asked him to mess with your car. I haven't touched this car in forever. It's been in my way. I'd like it out of the way. I have no idea where the keys are. Would love to know. But that's not what we were doing today. But you have to do this. You have to. Don't defend
ask you a
yourself
question.
now.
I can defend myself all I want because you're being insane.
You want to video record shit?
You want to threaten to hit my car with a hammer? God damn it! Marriage over, Mitch. Goodbye. Don't.
Yeah.
Then you stop it.
Bye. See. So.
Do what you want. Go ahead.
I want to. I want you to fucking start treating me better than you treat this car. This is how you treat us. Take it. Everybody, come around. My wife neglects us, ignores.
Just theatrics.
See.
To make himself the victim. I mean, this is
just theatrics to make himself the victim. No.
Classic narcissistic behavior. He is a mental and emotional abuser. It's very clear to anybody with eyes that see.
Now, I hope, Mitch, and this is also why I'm recording all of these things and documenting what Gary is saying. He's the one who's the narcissistic. As I say, look at all of the videos with Mitch. Never do I see this narcissistic, aggressive person like I do with Gary time and time again.
Screams at us on Saturday mornings about things that are completely unimportant to her.
Yeah, I mean, the screaming and yelling, do we know that? It's become epidemic proportions. The women are out of control.
Blames me for losing things I haven't touched.
Oh, that's a typical gaslighting technique.
Tried to ask you if you knew where they were.
I did, and I told you I don't know.
No, you never said that. You had to give me a little asshole answer.
I didn't give you an asshole answer. I gave you a smartass answer. It's Saturday morning, and it's okay to be a smartass. You do it all the time, Lene.
Oh, what she didn't like the smartass answer, so she decided to start a fight all day long?
It's so bad about being a smartass. You do.
Yeah, I've never done crap like that, Mitch.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, apparently we see the door handle there. She shows us the door handle. So I'm not sure why she's purposely showing us the door handle. There's some significance there. I think she maybe, believe me, my ex-husband tried this various times, tried to get me to become angry because I had to call the police. Because, he did try and attack me several times. So, he was trying to get me angry so that I would, start screaming and yelling, and then he would call the police. I mean, we had one altercation and he called the police, and this is precisely what he was trying to do. And it was a school night, during the week. And he wanted to we lived outside of Madrid, and it's about, without traffic, at least 25 minutes to get into Madrid to where they wanted to go to the football game. And it's starting at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 or so. And I'm like, I'm sorry, no, they cannot go to a football game the night when they have school tomorrow. No, I'm sorry, you guys can watch it on TV or whatever, but you're not going there. By the time you get home, it's going to be too late. They cannot go. And the thing was, we were already headed towards the divorce. And this was precisely to establish these rules of, well, I'm just taking the kids and you don't have anything to say about what I do with the kids. And I really felt bad because my youngest was like, Mom, just like give in, because he's screaming and yelling. I mean, my kids, they even told their cousin they were afraid of him, screaming and yelling. And I'm like, I can't, because it's not just, if it was just, okay, they're going to be tired the next day. Yeah, I can understand his point of view, but it was just that I'm going to dictate, these are my kids, and I do whatever I want with them. This is patriotic dad. I got his number. So I said, no, I'm sorry, they're not going. They're not going. So I went in the kitchen and I'm fixing lunch and fixing dinner. And so he calls the cops. And the cops come. They're at the door. They come, and I go to the door and they say, well, what's the problem here? I said, well, he wants to take them to a football game in Madrid. And I said, no, it is too late. They have school tomorrow and they cannot go. And excuse me, I'm in the middle of fixing dinner. If you would like, you can come in the kitchen and discuss. But I don't have time for this. I knew exactly what he was doing. I don't have time for this. I'm fixing dinner, if you'd like. So one of the cops stayed outside, was talking to my husband. The other cop, he comes in the kitchen and he's like, lady, what are we doing here? Like, this is ridiculous. I said, you tell me what you're doing here. He's the one who called you. I explained to the man, we're going through the divorce. He's just trying to start a fight so that all get angry, and it will end up in an altercation where you all are going to have to be called. And then, sometimes they arrest both the mother and the father. Then the kids get thrown into CPS because, I was just, and I'm like, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to play into his game. So apparently this is what she did. She set him up. And the poor policeman left. And my poor sons. God. I just hope my sons understand that I haven't forgotten them. There's not 1 second I don't think of them. I'm sorry. This Gary Melton guy is evil. And so are these people.
You do it all the fucking time.
No.
That's what you do.
You just beat our door in with a hammer.
Why are you videotaping me?
Why are you acting crazy? You want me to let you in and that's what you do?
Yeah, he purposely filmed this. Without a doubt.
That was 25 June
Are those
2016.
kids in the
I used the
background?
hammer to go ahead and break the door handle to get back in, to get to my keys, get my...
Wait, he was in the witness protection program for 35 years. How old was he when all of this happened?
Well, again, I just want to be accurate. According to...
You don't have the exact timeline. So why? Well, it's a lie. It's a lie. Well, has anybody looked at the evidence before saying it's a lie or not? No.
His story, he never actually went into witness protection. He was supposed to go into witness protection. He did sign an NDA, which apparently was extended like 35 years or something like that.
Oh, so he's supposed to go into witness protection. He signs the NDA. He gets shafted. He's not protected, but they got the NDA. Oh, real good, the government. Yeah. Real good way to treat your vets.
But I just want to be clear. That's he's claiming that he was never actually in witness protection.
Okay, but the NDA thing.
Yeah, so see, he got tricked by the government. They shafted him and he was on the run. So his story's checking out.
Wasn't it 35 years and it just ended?
I don't remember exactly, but it was an extended period of time that made no sense.
Right, because if it was 35 years and he's how old?
He was born in 69.
Well, yeah, 35 years. That's perfectly possible.
So that makes him 55.
Yeah. So he was 20. How would he have been in that kind of a position at that point in time with some huge drug? But I know nothing about the military, just for the record.
Yeah. He wasn't in some huge position. In fact, Gary says he was a foot soldier. They said, you're the lowest on the totem pole. Go and burn all the drugs that we just got from the drug lords. Because apparently what happened, he wasn't in combat. What happened was that he found they were out, putting down some detectors or something. I guess some sort of detectors. And they're putting them out in the desert. I mean, you got immigrants coming in, and so they're putting them, but then they were like, well, wait a second, there's some motion down underneath the ground. What's that? What's going on? And apparently you would only have if you had like a garage in there. So what was going on is there was a tunnel of the cartel. So he was involved in finding the tunnel of this cartel, and that's probably when they got the drugs and, well, take them out and burn them. Well, no, I mean, and Gary's, that's not how it works. Well, yeah, because the American military is involved in subversive activity and colluding with the drug cartels to bring the drugs into the United States. So obviously, and then apparently with this, they found the tunnel, and there's some captain or some official that's higher ranking up who's involved in that bust, who's like actually working for the cartel. And this is how Mitch Snow is outed out, and he's shafted by the government. See, he didn't go into witness protection. They left him out there, hung him out to dry, and he's got the cartel coming after him. See, the story is making total sense, and all of the pieces that I've gotten, and I haven't even seen the actual, but just from the testimonies that people are giving, it is coming out. I mean, I still want to see the timeline. Okay, what happened, and then I can explain it better.
I'm asking legitimate questions.
Like, that's possible. So what he said was originally is that he was assigned, he was in the military at 20, perfectly reasonable and possible. Many guys join at 17. And then he was assigned at a counter narcotics. It wasn't a joint task force at the time. I mean, it basically was, but that's not what they called it. So they were advising and assisting Border Patrol, and then he was putting in sensors on the border. And he alleges that during that time, they had the biggest drug bust of the biggest tunnel, the drug tunnel that was ever found. And we'll hear more about that. But yeah, so that's where we're at on that.
I mean, I said it from the beginning, particularly in moments like this, you're like, ding, ding, Gary Melton is just super jealous of Mitch.
The spaghetti that can be thrown up on the wall has been accused of.
Because he knows if life had ever thrown him a curveball like it did to Mitch, he wouldn't still be standing, and he knows it.
And yeah, I've been fighting through that, trying to hold on to custody of my, I helped raise my son. I was a stay-at-home dad.
And again, folks, I don't know that any of this is not true. I am sympathizing with him because I didn't know the other side of the story. All I've heard is
this is Gary sympathizing. Ooh, oh God!
And again, I'm kind of the opposite. I know that he didn't. At this point, here's what I know. I know he didn't stumble into a secret meeting. That's it. I don't know the rest of his story is true. Maybe his wives are doing him dirty. Maybe, he's otherwise a great guy, but he's lying about this to get notoriety. And
he never said he stumbled into a secret meeting. He wouldn't have gone into that room. See how he's trying to change this story.
Fame, he needs money. Maybe he's desperate for money so that, he can help get his kid back. I'm willing to entertain all those ideas, and I gave him complete benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure he needs money to help him get his kid back because the lawyers milk you for everything you got. They just give me money. But that's not why he's doing it.
It wasn't until later that after I talked to 3 different ex-wives, one of his other girlfriends, that there was a clear cycle of abuse. There was a clear cycle of pathologically lying, all of these things. So I do, at this point, I am genuinely feeling for this guy.
Yeah, but did he vet the wives and find out what the wives were involved in, and if the wives were above board? See, that's what you got to do.
That's telling me that and I've already seen the podcast where he was so supposedly beat up, and that his wife was doing all kinds of horrible things. I have since got court documents that prove that she was innocent. They investigated his claims, which was physical abuse, sexual abuse, all these things against his wife. It went through extensive, and I have the paperwork, extensive investigations. And not only did they not believe...
extensive investigations, let me guess, by the court psychologist. Oh, yeah. Just ask any of us victims of the courts how that whole thing's working. So basically what's going on in the courts is since and this is it's called the Clark Report. It came out in 1970. It's an American Bar Association report. It said basically 70% of the lawyers don't know what the fuck they're doing. So since the lawyers don't know what they're doing, and of course judges went to law school. I mean, they were lawyers. That's their training. Those are diplomas. The lawyers don't know what they're doing. The judges don't know what they're doing. They said, oh, let's get some psychologists in here and they can tell us who should get custody. Well, what would possibly be wrong with that idea? Okay, we're going to go once again. We did this last time. I'm going to go real quick. Okay, there it should be okay. Come on. Here is my activism website, Taking Back America for the, War on Domestic Terrorism. And here's all of the different reports, all of the different documents pertaining to my case. I've got some case files over there. Then we've also got my activism website, and I do hope people will go and check those out. These are the different cases. I did the Ghislaine Maxwell, not popular on my position on that. Everybody hates me for that one. Governor Cuomo, it's been shown. Oh no, there was nothing there. Yeah, but he was made to step down as governor. I mean, where are damages to that man? And the Prince Andrew one, I'm really not popular for. We got the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Nobody likes because we've got the domestic violence extremist. I've been telling America First Legal since 2021, and I've been writing letters telling everybody, yeah, you better hear So this is the report, the categories of domestic violence extremist: radically or ethnically motivated, animal rights, environmental, abortion related. I mean, I'm like, when I saw this report, I was like, don't tell me, come on. And of course I went to America First Legal and I said, oh, you guys, I can take down all of the think tanks, all of the non-profits with this document and these extremists alone. But see, this was brought in by the Biden. This was a Biden administration thing. So you have it all the time in here. It always says white supremacist, white supremacist, white supremacist. So it's just so flagrantly biased. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And I couldn't believe that I can't, America First Legal wouldn't jump on it and help me. That's Stephen Miller. So, question, why are you ignoring me?
He went and he actually